Is it you or is it me? Have I not gotten enough sleep? When I'm like have no buffer, it's because I haven't got enough sleep. So I know that I need to power through that day, trying to like create the buffer because I'm aware now it's because of me and no sleep. And I need to go to bed with my children tonight so that I can have a better day tomorrow. It's a lot of accountability, and accountability is hard. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about motherhood, we talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of eco-friendly, natural, hippie, granola, but we keep it positive. Positive mindset's gonna carry us through. I'm a firm believer. I have a guide that is a positive motherhood mindset if you need more of that in your life. Today we're gonna talk about my kids are driving me crazy. And I say that after just saying we're gonna keep a positive mindset because I'm not gonna sit here and complain about my children because I think you should talk about your kids the way that you would talk about them if they could hear you. I always say this, but please add things that help you in this situation. I want to know what you do to keep your calm. I can't control the chaos, but I can control my calm. If that's not accountability, I don't know what is. So tell me how you control your calm so that the comments can just be a toolbox for all of us. Okay, I have almost 5-year-old, almost 3-year-old, and an 8-month-old. So I'm like in kind of an intense phase of parenting. But there's like a fine line when you talk about this stuff, right? I feel like motherhood went from like this, oh, I'm a mother, but you can't tell. This is the standard that I set for myself to like, motherhood's insane and I drink wine all the time. Where people were trying to talk about the realities of motherhood, which then gave it like this negative spin. And so now I'm trying to like rein it back to be in the middle, to be like, it can still be hard. It is hard. It is hard. Motherhood is hard. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. Hard doesn't mean bad. And I feel like people need to hear that. I needed to hear that to be like, oh, you're right. It can be hard and good. Like a tough morning doesn't mean I'm gonna have a tough day, and I get to choose that. Figuring out what things you need to do to make sure you have that buffer. Fresh air and water. We are gonna get in the bath in the middle of the day. I'm not gonna wash you. We're just gonna play in the water, and the water is grounding. So if you have nerded out on grounding and you know the positive ions that come from the earth, that you go walk around barefoot, or it comes from the breeze off the ocean, or if you just get in the shower and get in the water or the bath, water is grounding. So I'll pop them in the tub. That helps a lot. We'll just get outside. That's massive. We'll just go for a drive. Maybe we'll just go get a snack somewhere. We'll just go to the park. Like we just need to like change the scene to make this work. And that helps me a lot and helps my kids a lot. Oh, I've been doing this lately and it helps so much. My kids are 5 and 3, so the 5-year-old kind of gets it, but it's like, we're gonna reset. If I'm just like, we just had an insane, like, get in the car, get in your car seat, fighting at every point, and I get in the car and I'm just like, I'm like, we're gonna reset. Everyone, hands in. We all go hands in. We go, we're gonna reset on 3. 1, 2, 3, reset. And then everybody's in a better mood. And that's just how we reset. And that helps a lot. But before we get started, I'm gonna talk about the sponsor, Element. Look at this perfect stack. So my favorite is grapefruit, my husband's is orange. And then I've just started using this unflavored, like in my protein shakes, and I really like it. I'm just gonna get it out here. I've got my giant mason jar. Electrolytes are amazing. I feel like more and more people are learning that they should have like minerals and electrolytes. But this I have every day because I'm breastfeeding. My husband's training for a half Ironman. I feel like this is the thing, like when people have an under 1-year-old, their husbands are like, I think I'm gonna train for an Ironman. And you're like, I love that for you. So he's doing that, so he's been drinking them. And then when you're sick, to keep you hydrated. And they help me when I have migraines, big time. Grapefruit and citrus are like tangy, they're my favorites. And then raspberry, orange, and watermelon are like more sweet. And then the unflavored is obviously unflavored. Pick a flavor and then use the link drinkelementi.com/HeyShayla and you will get a free sample pack of all the flavors and you can try them all. There's also chocolate that you drink warm at night, which is kind of nice. Okay, let's get back into it. I feel like my job on here is like motherhood. My job at home is motherhood. So I read a lot of motherhood books so that I can like learn things, so that I can talk about things, so that I can implement them in my life. I feel like people think that some people don't lose it on their kids. And this is the same thing where you gotta stick in the middle here. So every human, I would say, loses it. I do. I've lost it on my kids and I feel I feel like the worst mother in the world. I call my sister and she's like, I know how you feel. I know that it's the worst. And there's a couple things that we need to do when that happens. So first, we're not normalizing that it's okay to lose it on your kids. I'm just saying it happens. And when it happens, we need to figure out 2 things: how to repair with our kids and how to try to avoid that in the future. Let's work on how to not get there for the sake of our feelings, for the sake of our kids' feelings, for the sake of everything. The other thing that everybody is always like, fill your cup first. Yeah, no right. Fill your cup first so there's no buffer. Like, yes, but some of us don't have extra hands. Or you do have your kids in daycare and then you get home and then you're like, I'm still losing it. I cannot stress enough to make sure that you know exactly what this means for you. Because for me, people are like, oh, go get your nails done. Oh, go get your hair done. I do not like getting my nails done. It takes too long. I don't enjoy getting my hair done. These are not like vacations for me. These are like another thing on my to-do list. What do I like doing in my free time? I'm gonna go journal for 20 minutes. And that's what my whole mindset guide is on. How to journal effectively and like the questions to ask yourself. I'm gonna go for a walk by myself. And this one's hard for me because I'm like, if I'm going for a walk, I might as well take my kids. No, go for a walk by yourself. Feel how your body moves. Just pay attention to your thoughts because it goes through all the to-dos. And then all of a sudden it just like opens up and you're all of a sudden like, oh, okay, now I'm just on a walk and oh, I've never seen that neighbor's door. I didn't realize it was purple. It's okay to have self-care be like things like declutter, taking an everything shower, cleaning up a room, making dinner. People are like, well, that's not, yes it is. Yes it is. It makes me feel so good when I can declutter a closet or when I can make dinner. And that's like the hunt gather parent where you're like doing it with your kids. You don't have to be like TV, dinner, or you can. If you're like, I just need a minute, TV, dinner. I'm gonna make this. And you're just gonna chill over there. Another one that I really like is getting out of the house with my kids. That makes me feel better. That like fills my cup up. But really figuring out the things that make you feel better. And they don't have to make anyone else feel better. It doesn't need to be anything for anyone else except for you. It's really important to know those things so that you know, so that you can ask for it. Hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Can I take 20 minutes to go journal? It's always a yes. Hey, can I go take a 20-minute walk? Yes. And I come back feeling like a freaking $1 million, but you need to know the thing to ask for because it's not gonna get offered to you. My husband's never like, why don't you go take a walk? I've been trying to offer that to him. Like, hey, do you need to go take a nap? Because I wish it was offered to me, so I'm trying to offer it to him. When my kids are losing it and I then lose, I repair. And repair is not, well, you made me mad because if you hadn't done this, I would, no, it's, hey, I'm really sorry that I reacted that way. I should not have reacted that way. I'm gonna work really hard to prevent that in the future. Do you have any ideas for things that I could do? So then they could start like, be like, well, maybe you should do that. Or they'll be like, no, what do you mean? I don't know how to help you. And you're like, cool. Telling them, I'm sorry that I made you feel scared. I'm sorry that I yelled. I don't like yelling. I don't want to yell. You don't like it when I yell at you. This is not good for anyone. Like truly be accountable for you losing your top because you're the parent. You're the one that should be apologizing. Before that happens, stop, drop, and connect. Stop what you're doing. I just need to unload the dishwasher. Why are you whining? I just need to unload the dishwasher really fast. Just stop with the dishes. Drop your phone, drop to the ground, and just make eye contact and connect with them. And get curious. What's going on? Why are you feeling like this? How can I help you? Do you just need a hug? Do you just need some love? And just give them a little bit of love. The dishes will be there when you're done. The kid is gonna feel very connected and very loved. When my kids were sick and I was starting to get better and they just needed to be held, both of them. They just needed to be held. I was like, oh my gosh, I just need a minute to do something without holding you for a second. And then I was like, you know what? No, I don't. I'm gonna go sit on the couch with you and do nothing. And it worked every time. Every time they calmed down, they felt better. It was better for everybody. And I was like, okay, I just need to slow the freak down. And I've been starting to say that too. When they're like, I need a snack. I have to go. I go, well, I can only do one thing at a time. What thing should we do first? And they've started doing that too. They're like, Mom, do one thing at a time. I'm like, you're right. Which one should we start with? And then we just do that. And that helps my nervous system. I had a friend who was like, I would go on a walk, listen to a podcast and answer DMs, and I felt like I was on top of the world multitasking. My brain was like short-circuiting because it felt like it was being chased by a tiger. Like one thing at a time. When you wash your hands slower. When you're doing something, do it slower. Take your time because there's really no rush. And the faster you do things, the worse it gets. And same thing with going out of the freaking house with your kids. Whenever I'm in a rush to get out of the house, it is a disaster zone. And so I'm either like super duper early because everything runs smoothly or like right on time. I'll give myself like 30 minutes to get out of the house. But if I try and rush the getting in the car process, oof, no bueno. And like the overstimulation thing is TV. Holy. When we were sick for 2 weeks, they did TV from morning to night. I had no capacity to do any, and they had lots of snacks for meals. We were in pure survival mode, and I still feel bad about it, but I cannot apologize for it. And a lot of people are like, oh, when my kid watches too much TV, they get overstimulated. I'm like, really? I don't feel like my kids get like overstimulated by too much TV. I do now. I don't know if they just got older. I learned that social media and TV and that sort of stimulus is addicting for adults. It's 10 times more addicting for children. So when you want to turn it off and they do not like it and they have a hard time with that transition, we do a lot of timers around here, so it's very clear what's going on. You need to have a plan for when you shut off the TV, because I learned this. I learned that I can't just shut off and be like, go find something to do. Eventually you can get there, but at first you have to be like, how about we grab the Magna-Tiles? You have to pull out the Magna-Tiles. You have to pull out the watercolors. You have to pull out the markers and crayons, and you have to be like, let's transition to this activity. And then they start to learn like the things that they can do. Or if I go put the baby up and they're watching a show, I will make sure that there's something out in case for whatever reason the show stops. Don't come upstairs. Don't wake up the baby. Here's your activity for if the show stops. So I don't know what the correlation is. My kids are just yelling in the background, but I don't know what the correlation is. I stopped drinking caffeinated coffee and only switched to decaf. Music used to be the thing that, like, I could turn on some nice calm music in the background and I would like attach to it and just feel like this sense of calm and this like romanticizing my day with this music in the background. Now it drives me nuts. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's connected with the caffeine or what, but I just can't do it. If you're in this, like, your kids are driving you nuts, there's 3 books that I could not recommend more. And I'll tell you quickly. Hunt, Gather, Parent. Anybody who's read this book will say yes. Hunt, Gather, Parent teaches you how to coexist with your kids. It teaches you how to get them involved in unloading the dishwasher, that you don't need to just set them in front of the TV, that they can go play, that you guys are coexisting and you're not just here to entertain your children. Yes, play with your kids. Yes, entertain them. Yes, do all those things, but you don't have to do it 24/7 like I felt. But Hunt, Gather, Parent, you could read at any point. I'd say maybe like a year. The other 2 are like 1.5 to 2 years on. The second one is How to Talk So Little Kids Listen. There's 2, How to Talk So Kids Listen and How to Talk So Little Kids Listen. This is awesome. It's very long. I do audiobooks for all of these, but this one tells you just ways to communicate with your kids to cooperate, so that you're not always trying to like fight them to get them to do what you need them to do. You're like, okay, let's do this together and let's make it fun. So I really like that one. And then Good Inside is just a good perspective shift of like, my kid's not giving me a hard time, they're having a hard time, and like kind of ways to do that and like reframe your mind so that you're not just like, why are you doing this? You're like, oh, you're not capable of understanding anything else. You're not manipulating me. You truly don't know how to tie your shoe or whatever. So those 3 books, phenomenal. This was just like, I was feeling it. And I always say this, but please add things that help you in this situation. I want to know what you do to keep your calm. I can't control the chaos, but I can control my calm. If that's not accountability, I don't know what is. So tell me how you control your calm, and tell me what you do when your kids are losing it and you just need to figure it out, so that the comments can just be a toolbox for all of us to get ideas. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.